Hello everyone. Today we'll be looking into utilizing exercise as stress management. There are lots of healthy ways to deal with stress, and everyone responds to stress in their own ways. So it's important to find what method works best for you and your body, and exercising is just one of the ways to positively deal with stress. So let's start by talking about what stress is. Stress is a commonly used word that everybody uses in different ways and contexts. A lot of people just throw the word stress around. Regarding the word stress in today's presentation, we're going to define stress as the disruption of the body's homeostasis or a state of disharmony in response to a real or perceived threat or challenge. And then that threatening or challenging situation is referred to as the stressor. And as individuals, when we encounter stressors, the body prepares itself to respond or deal with the stressor in different ways. So the body's response to stress, the body prepares itself by creating the stress response. This results from actions by the autonomic nervous system and the endocrine system. Hormones like epinephrine, norepinephrine, and cortisol are released, which causes the body to have different reactions. Some experience increased heart and respiration rates. Some may have a spike in blood pressure. And these hormones also can suppress the immune system, producing the body's natural painkiller, endorphin. And also some stressors are more familiar or can be more prepared for over time. Some are good, some are bad. And stress can either happen on an acute scale or chronically. So in talking about stress and health, how does stress affect an individual's health? So stress is a factor that influences many other areas of one's life. Stress-related illnesses are some of the highest problems that primary care physicians actually see daily. And stress-related illnesses cause problems regarding the heart, weight gain, diabetes, headache, neck and back pain, sleeping problems, so on and so forth. And dealing with these stressors is critical to one's health. So how can we manage life stressors? One way would be by using exercise as stress management. So before we go into that, let's talk about what exercise is. Exercise is any bodily activity that enhances or maintains physical fitness and overall health and wellness. Exercise can be tailored to fit the needs of the individual, which is really good. And exercise can also be something that you enjoy, that is matched by your own skills and your own challenges you have for yourself. And exercising can look different for everyone, so that's really important to take into consideration. So benefits of exercising for stress management, there's tons. It's a super great way to reduce stress. As you exercise, your body releases endorphins, and endorphins are brain chemicals that act as natural pain relief. So it's been found that even in just 10 minutes of walking, you can release endorphins, which in return make the body feel the relief you need. In research conducted, when someone begins exercising, it actually has been found that your attention shifts from the original stressor to the current activity you're doing, which creates a feeling of relief. And upon shifting that attention and losing core focus on your stressor, your mood adjusts, which leads to better sleep. It allows the body to relax more, and as the body relaxes, it lowers symptoms of anxiety and depression. And fun fact, 45% of Americans actually say they used exercise to help reduce their stress. When exercising is stress relief, there are some considerations you need to take into account. It's important to ensure each person is doing what your body can handle. Talking to your doctor before taking on a new workout is advisable. Finding exercise as an individual that you will enjoy is always critical. And exercising, again, can look different for everyone. Some may walk or some may run. Some may do short, more intense workouts, or others do low-intensity, longer workouts. So really, it's just whatever fits your comfort level regarding the pace and duration and what you feel like you need. So going into my own personal experience with exercise as stress management, I really like this opportunity that I got to do these stress hours with to incorporate exercise into my daily routine. And I found that my own personal experiences really overall just led to nothing but positive outcomes. Exercising allowed me to give my brain a break from the worries and stressors of my day. After exercising, I found myself to have a clearer mind, a more relaxed manner about what things were causing me stress, and a new outlook on how I could accomplish what was on my plate. Overall, it really just left me feeling happier, and I looked forward to my exercise breaks. It was a great way to relieve stress while benefiting my body both physically and my brain mentally. So here are a couple ways I personally utilized exercise as stress management. I took classes like Body Pump, as seen on the picture on the left, which is a low-weight, high-rep barbell workout that targets key muscle groups of the body. On the right, you can see me in a cycling class. I like to say I pedaled my stress away. It was a really fun, social, and energetic class environment. And finally, my favorite way to exercise to relieve stress was swimming. I did a bunch of swimming sets practicing multiple strokes and different sequences of kicking. And I'm going to show you a quick glimpse into some of the things I did. So here you can see I'm swimming freestyle. That's actually one of my favorite strokes. I'm just going to briefly show multiple strokes. So you saw freestyle, and then this is backstroke. Moving on, you'll see I come back and do breaststroke. So there's lots of different strokes you do, and swimming can be adjusted again to what your body needs, and it's a really great workout overall. So pretty much while I was relieving stress, especially in swimming, I found myself creating a clearer mind because I was focused on the movement of the strokes. And because I was focused on the movement of the strokes, it actually washed away the stress that I was feeling. So going into research, populations that benefit from exercise and stress management, pretty much any age or any ability level individual can do exercise. Some populations include anyone suffering from stress-related illnesses, students, individuals with physical or mental disabilities, older adults, etc. And I decided to look into 2 different studies alone. The first study on the left looks at the cardiac-related illness. This population was to determine the benefit of clients suffering from cardiac-related illnesses and to see if there was evidence that exercise-induced myocardial ischemia could be reduced by exercising as stress management. The second study was done to determine that another population who benefits are those who suffer from anxiety-related disorders, specifically in this case college-aged females. And looking at these 2 specific populations, we'll go into how the researchers determined that the exercise was needed for these people to reduce stress. So starting with the cardiac study, the purpose was to determine the effect of aerobic exercise training and stress management, along with their typical routine medical care to see how cardiovascular care was influenced. Participants in this trial were both male and female, aged 40 to 84. They all had ischemic heart disease and exercise-induced myocardial ischemia. The participants completed assessments and were randomly assigned to one of the 3 listed groups shown here at the bottom of the screen. And then moving on to the anxiety study, the purpose was to see if anxiety could be reduced following exercise, that it would almost create like a timeout from daily cares and worries, and to see the change in anxiety level after exercise overall. Participants in this trial, like I said, were only female, and they also completed several questionnaires to determine who would qualify for the study. And the women that agreed to the study participated in these 4 random conditions. Moving on to research duration and frequency. For the cardiac research, it was conducted using routine medical care while incorporating supervised aerobic activity for 35 minutes 3 times per week for 16 weeks. And in addition to usual care, plus weekly 1.5-hour stress management training sessions that also lasted for 16 weeks. Moving on to anxiety, it was conducted in 1 trial. The exercise-only group completed 20 minutes of stationary cycling. The exercise and study group read a chapter while studying and exercising. And the studying-only group read and had a pop quiz. And the control group sat quietly on the bike for 40 minutes. Looking at the duration and frequency, we move on to results. So in the cardiac trial, it was determined that the patients with stable ischemic heart disease, exercise and stress management training did in fact find reduced distress, and that also led to lessening the chance of cardiac episodes. This was particularly important because ischemic heart disease is the leading cause of death in the United States, so lowering any stress level that could influence cardiac-related illnesses is important. Looking at anxiety, it was found that anxious females would find significant changes in reduction following low-intensity workouts. The cycling really helped them, and it led to lower stress levels, which supports the fact that exercise does in fact lead to a timeout from stressors in life. So overall, exercise and stress management help both these populations, and remember, these are just two of the many populations who can be helped by using exercise to stress management. And to wrap it up, these are my references I used throughout the presentation. Two of them are the studies we discussed, and the following three are how I gathered more information on exercise and stress management through other studies and overall benefits of exercise. I want to thank you for your time, and I hope that you have learned a new way to cope with stress through the use of exercise.